I'd like to pay this cheque in, please, to my account.
Mrs. Ruth Morrison, that's you, is it?
That's right.
And this is for £50,000?
Yes.
It'll take 3 working days to clear. You won't be able to make any transactions before then, you understand?
That's all right. I don't know if you can hear me, or if you even know I'm here. It's me, Ruth. I'm holding your hand, Harry. You're not alone. I hope you know you're not alone. Harry, I need to tell you something. I need to tell you what I've done. I've taken some money, Harry. Your money. You know that money in your account you never touched.
All right, Mrs. Morrison.
Yes, thank you.
We're just at the nurse's station. Give us a shout if you need anything.
Thank you.
It's all right.
I've only taken 50,000. That's less than half. That's all right, isn't it, Harry? You know how much you hated the government and the banks, and you wouldn't have wanted them to get their hands on it all, would you? And you know how I helped you, don't you, when you were poorly and that? So, is that all right then? If not, squeeze my hand and I'll pay it back. No harm done, eh? Harry?
And did he squeeze your hand?
No, but he definitely heard me. His eyelids flickered.
But couldn't that have been a coincidence?
Definitely not. I know Harry. Knew Harry. Better than anyone. And I know he would have wanted me to have it. After all, it's not as if there's anyone else, is there? Haven't you got any friends, Harry?
Oh, God.
Someone would want to know you haven't been feeling so good, lady. Or family, maybe.
No one. Never married, never had any kids. Never wanted to.
Who'd want a grumpy old sod like you, eh? I'm only kidding. I bet you were a catch in your day. What about brothers and sisters? Or cousins, maybe?
I told you, nobody.
So you're all alone in the world?
Yep.
Good job you got me then, isn't it?
You're paid to be here.
I'm paid to be here for an hour and a quarter, not to pop in on my way to and from work every day and do your shopping and bring you a bite to eat and all the rest of it.
Go on, that's you.
I do it all for love. What did you say?
No one's asking you to.
Where would you be if I didn't, you daft old sod? Right, well, don't mention it. I'll put this away on my way out. You want anything before I go?
No.
I'll be back later around the usual time. There's some tea in the thermos and there's biscuits in that tin. Garibaldi's like you like. See you later then.
Yeah.
Try not to lose your temper at countdown.
Bye.
I don't know why you bother with that grumpy old man.
No, so you said.
I can't bear people who never say thank you. Makes my blood boil.
He can't say thank you. I can tell. It's like a physical thing with him. My dad was exactly the same. You get used to it in the end. It doesn't bother me. I think it's funny, if anything. These big, proud men, and inside they're just little boys.
Well, I think you're a saint. I'd clock him one if it was me.
Good job you're not me, then.
Seriously, I don't know why you bother. He just takes you for granted so far as I can see.
He hasn't got anyone else.
Well, that's not your problem, is it?
I can't just leave him to it.
I don't see why not.
Oh, Tess, we'll all be old and in need of help one day.
Being old is no excuse for bad manners.
Well, that's me told. More tea, my lady. There, that's better. How are you today, then? Did you get any sleep last night?
Some.
Was it the cough bothering you again?
No, I never sleep much, me.
Why's that, then? Guilty conscience?
Guilty.
Remembering all those women's hearts you broke? Oh, what's all this mess?
Oh.
You want me to sort through all this paperwork?
Oh, leave it.
Are you sure? There's lots here. Oh, Harry, there's final demands here again. I told you last time, remember, you can't just ignore them.
Bastard bills.
Right, let's get a pen and we'll sit down and sort this lot out. Now, where's your chequebook?
I don't know.
I expect it's still in the kitchen drawer. That's where I put it last time. Do you remember? Yeah, here it is. Now, where might I find a pen?
Oh, I don't know.
This could take a little while. So, that's the gas and the electricity. Look, you know, you just need to sign these cheques and I'll put them in the post.
Yes, all right.
Now, this is all junk mail. I'll put that in the recycling.
Good.
Unless you wanted Virgin Broadband and free calls. No? Right. Oh, Harry, look at this postcard. A reminder to get your eyes checked.
No.
August, that was. I bet you didn't even make an appointment, did you? Did you ever read your post? Now, what's this one? Oh, it's just a bank statement. That's all right, then. I'll put that here. Harry? Harry, this statement says you've got £108,000 in your account. That can't be right, can it?
Well, that's what it says, doesn't it?
Well, you old dark horse, you. How the hell did you get all that money? Did you win the lottery or something? There, easy now, easy now. Better? Come on, look, sign these cheques now. They're all ready. All you have to do is sign your name here. Come on, Harry, or you'll be cut off. I'll help you. Harry Baxter. And again, come on. Harry Baxter. One more. Harry Baxter. There, all done. Of course, if you set up a standing order, like I said before, we wouldn't have to go through all this palaver every time.
No bastard electricity company's going to get their hands on my money without my say-so.
It would make life a lot easier. See if you're getting any more of those nasty red bills.
No bank, neither. Not if I can help it.
All right. Keep your hair on. What's left of it.
Hey.
Harry, this money you've got in here, this is your money, isn't it? It belongs to you. And it's just sitting there in your account. Why not use some of it? You can make yourself a bit more comfortable. What with winter coming on. It's only the start of November, look, and it's already very chilly, especially in the evenings. You could get a new gas fire. Maybe get proper central heating put in.
I don't need central heating.
Some new furniture then. Look at this chair. It's falling to bits. All the stuffing's coming out of this arm, see? Or a new telly. You could get one of those big flat screen ones that go on the wall.
What the hell would I want with a telly on the wall? Pictures go on walls. Tellies go on tables.
Not a telly, then. How about a little holiday? You could do with a break.
No.
There must be something you'd like. Something that would make your life a bit better, a bit nicer.
That money is not for spending.
Well, what is it for, then? OK. It's none of my business, I know. I'm only trying to... Just like to see you enjoying yourself a bit more.
Oh, God. Oh, don't you worry about me.
Well, that's just it, Harry. I do worry about you.
So if you could carry on covering for Mrs. Jones while she's off sick, that would be a real help.
I don't mind. Is her back no better?
Apparently not. To be honest, I'm not sure she's coming back.
Oh, that's a pity. She's a good home help. Her clients love her. They're always asking when the proper lady will be with them again.
Yes, it's a shame. And it's been an absolute nightmare arranging cover. There's nothing in the budget for extra, but you still have to make sure everyone gets the hours they're entitled to. And we're expected to find another 8% cuts next year, while still providing exactly the same level of service. Which, if someone could explain to me how is even possible, I'd be grateful. Still, that's not your problem. Now, let's see, where were we? I think that's actually everything I wanted to cover. Anything you wanted to raise?
Yes. Mr. Baxter, Harry, he's going downhill if you ask me. I know I'm not a doctor or a nurse or anything, but, well, you can see it in him.
Who's his GP?
I've no idea. I've never known him go to a doctor.
And there's no close family, is there?
No family at all.
Neighbours or friends?
Definitely no friends. Neighbours are out at work all day. I doubt they've ever even spoken to him.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Can you check again if he's got any relatives? He should have someone looking out for him. It worries me that he's all alone.
Right, well, There's nothing on his file. Under next of kin, it just has his doctor's details.
Who's his doctor?
Carstairs.
Carstairs? He retired 10 years ago.
Well, maybe you could talk to him, ask him about his background. He might open up to you.
I'll try. You want some water, Harry?
No.
Wouldn't it be a good idea to get that cough looked at? By a doctor, I mean. You should really get it checked out. I'll come with you if you like. I don't mind. Who is your doctor now?
Don't need a doctor.
Oh, for goodness sake, you're coughing your guts up. You should have antibiotics or something.
Bastard doctors.
You're a stubborn old man, Harry Baxter. If you don't want to go with me, maybe there's a friend you could go with.
What friend?
Or family. There must be someone.
No.
Have you really got no family at all, Harry?
No, no one. Only my mum. She died.
And there's nobody else?
I had a sister once.
Is she gone too?
Yeah, she's gone. Just me now.
That shepherd's pie should have eaten through by now. Would you like some bread and butter with it?
No, just a cup of tea.
Cup of tea and shepherd's pie coming up. If you eat it all, I'll make you some banana and custard for afters.
I don't like bananas.
Just custard, then.
Gives you the trots.
Duly noted.
He's lucky to have you.
Oh, well.
You're like a daughter to him. And is he grateful? Is he hell?
I think he is grateful, in his own way. I know he doesn't show it as such, but at least he doesn't shower me with insults. Not like he does everyone else. I've never actually heard him say a good word about anybody. But he's positively abusive towards the government and the council and the bank and the utility companies, the TV, Chelsea Football Club, the neighbour's dog.
No wonder he's on his own, the miserable old so-and-so. And you have to wonder, where did all that money come from? And who'll get it after he goes?
God knows.
Top up?
Oh, no, steady. I'll have a thick head in the morning. And anyway, I thought I might pop in on Harry on the way home. Just see he's all right.
He's lucky to have you.
Harry! It's me, Ruth. You all right? There you are. You okay? Oh, come on, love. Let's get you into bed, shall we?
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Oh.
Take your time. Harry, it's me, Ruth. You decent? Oh, my God! Ambulance! Ambulance, please, quick as you can! Don't try and speak now. You're in an ambulance. They're taking you to hospital so they can look after you properly. Probably give you some of those antibiotics I was talking about, remember? Don't be frightened. Everything's all right.
You right, Ruth? Nearly there.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for letting me come.
Why wouldn't we? But don't worry about your dad. They'll take good care of him.
Oh, he's not.
Sorry, Ruth, I can't hear you. Mrs. Morrison?
Yes?
I'm Dr. Anderson.
Oh, yes, how is he, Doctor?
Not good, I'm afraid.
What?
I'm afraid it is only a matter of days now, maybe hours. Your father's been very ill for some time, putting a brave face on it, I expect.
I can't believe it.
I know, it's a dreadful shock.
I knew there was something wrong. I just didn't realise it was so serious. Or maybe I did and I didn't want to face it.
You can go in and see him in a minute. They're just making him comfortable.
I'm not his...
Oh, forgive me, I have to get that. I really am very sorry.
Mrs. Morrison, you can see your father now.
Just a minute. There's something I have to do first. I'd like to pay this cheque in, please, to my account.
It'll take 3 working days to clear. You won't be able to make any transactions before then, you understand?
That's all right. There's no hurry. only taken 50,000. That's less than half. So, is that all right then? If not, squeeze my hand and I'll pay it back. No harm done, eh? Harry? Goodbye, Harry.
Mrs. Morrison? Mrs. Morrison?
Yes?
Are you Mrs. Morrison?
Yes, I am.
I'm Eric French from the council. You remember we spoke on the phone?
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you for coming. That was kind of you.
Well, of course I came. It was the least I could do. He was my...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. It's just I'm very often the only person at these crematorium services, so you get a bit used to them, I suppose. Sorry.
It's okay.
Like I explained on the phone, because Mr. Baxter didn't leave a will... He didn't leave a will, did he? With you, I mean?
A will? Harry, of course not.
No, right. Because he didn't leave a will, I'll be sorting out his estate, trying to recover the cost of his funeral expenses from any assets he might have held.
He had a lot of money in a bank account.
Yes, we know about
He
that.
gave me some of it, nearly half, in fact. He wanted me to have it because I was like family to him. He didn't have any of his own, you see, so I meant a lot to him.
Do you know where the money came from?
No, I don't.
It's a very substantial amount for a man living in such humble circumstances.
I've no idea.
According to the bank, the money had lain untouched in his account for years. Decades, even. It just sat there, attracting interest and accumulating every year.
He never spoke about it.
Something of a mystery, then. Right, well, what happens now is we'll try and track down his family.
But I keep telling you there isn't any. He was the last. He said so.
Well, that doesn't mean there's no next of kin. There might be a distant cousin or something, possibly, that he never even knew about.
Well, that can't be right. Someone he never even knew or never even met, inheriting thousands and thousands of pounds of his money when they never did anything for him when he was alive.
I can't comment on that, I'm afraid.
What happens if you don't find anyone?
There are various processes we have to go through, but in the event of no next of kin being traced, his estate will go to the Treasury solicitor and ultimately the Crown.
The Crown?
He hated royalty.
In that case, it's a shame he didn't take the lot.
I wish I had now. Poor Harry. He must be turning in his grave. Well, he would be, if he had one. He must be turning in his pot.
Don't say pot. It sounds like something that goes under the bed. Say urn.
Turning in his urn.
Don't laugh, it's disrespectful.
I couldn't help it. It sounded funny. I didn't mean it.
More wine?
Yeah.
Still a mystery where he got it, though, isn't it?
I can't think where it came from. Mind, I wouldn't put anything past Harry, even a bank job.
Ruth Morrison.
Yes.
I'm Detective Sergeant Winstanley. This is Detective Constable Graham. Can we come in?
Yes.
We need to ask you some questions. It's about the cheque you received from the late Mr. Harry Baxter. And it needs to be official, so we're arresting you on suspicion of theft. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention... And so he just gave you £50,000, just like that?
Yes. No. Not just like that. It was because I...
Yes?
Because of what I did for him, all the help and support.
He was grateful?
He was, yes.
Thanked you all the time, did he? Told you how much he appreciated all you were doing for him, all the help and support?
Not exactly. He wasn't one to show appreciation like that. It wasn't his way.
How did he show it then?
Well, he
gave you 50 grand. That's a whole lot of gratitude. In fact, you just did what any home help would do, didn't you? Nothing more and nothing less.
That's not true. I was always in there looking out for him, doing bits of shopping, getting him meals and hot drinks. The night before he collapsed, I put him to bed. That's nurse's work, that is.
Can anyone confirm that?
No, of course not. He was on his own. That's the whole point.
This cheque.
Yes?
This cheque for £50,000.
Yes.
This cheque, which you claim Mr. Baxter gave you, of his own free will, why is it in your handwriting?
All his cheques were in my handwriting for the last year, getting on for. You can check if you like. The electric, the TV licence, council tax, all of them. He was old and frail. He couldn't manage like he used to.
So you wrote them for him?
Yes.
And did you sign them for him as well?
Of course not.
Are you sure? You said he was old and frail, needed a lot of help. Sure you didn't guide his hand?
At this point, I will just remind my client of my advice to her, which is to return no comment responses.
No comment, then.
You wrote that cheque, didn't you?
No comment.
You signed it yourself, didn't you?
No comment.
You knew what Harry's writing looked like. You knew you could do a passable imitation, didn't you?
No comment.
You knew he was on his way out and there was no time to lose, so you seized your chance. You didn't dare take the lot, but you thought you could get away with about half. You settled on a nice round figure, 50,000.
No comment.
My client's getting distressed.
I'm not surprised. This is a very serious matter. Stealing from someone terminally ill.
Either charge her or let her go.
I can't do that. I have a lot more questions to ask first. Questions I need answers to.
In that case, I request a break.
All right. 2 minutes. The time is 14:13 and I'm stopping the tape now.
How much longer is this going on for?
Probably another half hour, give or take.
Half an hour? I can't take any more of this.
Look, don't worry. They aren't going to charge you. Well, not today, anyway. They would have done it already if they were going to. Just keep saying no comment. They can't prove you did it any more than you can prove you didn't, so it'll come down to who the jury believes on the day.
The jury? Oh, God.
Oh, don't worry. It probably won't come to that. They'll come back in and ask you all the same questions over again, and then they'll release you on police bail pending further inquiries.
What does that mean?
Well, it means you can go home. Well, you'll have to come back on a certain date, probably in about 6 weeks' time. That's when they'll charge you, if they're going to.
I can't believe this is happening to me.
Ready? The time is 14:14, and present are D.S. Winstanley, D.C. Graham, Ruth Morrison, and Petra Cratchit of Hunter, Donald, James and Fox. No one else has entered or left the room whilst the tape has been turned off. Now then, Ruth, this cheque that you say Harry gave you, what did you do with it when you got it?
How dare they? How dare they treat you like that? And how dare they not believe you?
It was like a nightmare. I couldn't believe it was actually happening.
And who put the police onto you in the first place? It must have been that bloody man from the council.
First thing I did when I got home was have a bath. I felt so dirty.
Oh, there, don't take on. It's over now.
I can't go through that again, Tess. I really can't.
Well, you won't have to.
I might. I've got to go back on the 21st of December, right before Christmas. They might question me again. All the same thing. I can't face it.
Don't worry about it. Didn't that solicitor say that if they had enough to go on, they would have pressed charges already? They're just going through the motions.
I don't know about that.
Well, that's what she said, wasn't it?
I don't know. I can't remember properly now. I can't be in that place again. That horrible little room with no windows and that tape machine going round. Maybe I should just give it back.
No, don't do that.
It's not worth it.
But that's the last thing you should do. It'll look like you've got a guilty conscience.
I have got a guilty conscience.
But they don't know that. Stick to your story. It's all you can do now.
I wish I'd never started this.
But you did. And now you've got to see it through. Just keep telling them the same thing, that Harry gave you that money. They'll get bored after a while and go off and find some real criminals to chase. Don't forget, you deserve this money. You earned it. More than some second cousin he never even met.
Yes?
Ruth Morrison?
Not again. Now what?
No, it's nothing like that. I wanted to come and see you, Ruth. To say thank you. Well, I'm Amy Sinclair. I'm Harry's great niece. Are you feeling a bit better now?
Oh, yes, thanks. Sorry about that. I don't know what came over me.
Have some sugar in your tea. It's good for shock.
Can't abide sugar in my tea.
No, me neither. I'd rather have the shock.
Tell me again. I didn't take it in the first time. Your grandmother, Lillian, was that her name?
That's right.
She was Harry's sister?
Yes.
And they hadn't spoken for over 30 years?
Nearer 35.
Good God.
It's a sad story. No one comes out of it very well, I'm afraid.
No one ever does when families fall out.
Harry always lived at home with his mum. That was Dora, right up till she died. He was well into his 30s by then, nearly 40. He never married, although he had lots of girlfriends by all accounts. If he ever got too interested, his mum chased them off. Well, he was in the Merchant Navy, so he was away most of the time, and when he was home, she treated him like a prince, apparently. Waited on him hand and foot, so he was onto a good thing. But when she was older, Dora got very ill. I'm not sure what with, but it left her an invalid. Well, she was more or less bedridden, and she insisted Lillian move back in with her to look after her.
But didn't Lillian have a family of her own?
Oh, yes. Well, she had a husband and a daughter. Well, that was my mum, Carol. But whatever Dora wanted, Dora got. And Gran, Grandad and Mum all had to put up with it. Well, they gave up their house and moved in with her in the expectation that it wouldn't be for that long. But the old bitch went on for years, far longer than anybody would have believed possible. Gran was at her beck and call 24 hours a day. She led them a dog's life, especially Gran. Like I said, Harry was away most of the time, so he never did his share of looking after her. He was off living the bachelor lifestyle, and when he came home, he was treated like a prince. Well, Dora used to insist on it.
You poor Gran.
Yeah. Well, you can probably guess where this is going. When the old girl died, she left everything to Harry. Lillian didn't get a bean. Well, after all those years of caring for her, all that sacrifice, she and Grandad and Mum didn't even have a home anymore because Harry wanted to sell up. Well, everyone expected him to do the decent thing, give her half, but he kept the lot. That was over 30 years ago. No one in the family ever spoke to him again.
But what did he do? Where did he go with no home?
Well, it gets a bit hazy after that. We think he was abroad for some years. Then, when he came back, he somehow got himself that poky little flat. He's been there ever since. So all that wealth didn't do much good in the long run, did it? Seems he never touched it. Just let it sit in his bank account all those years.
Poor Harry.
I never even knew I had an Uncle Harry till I was 15. Families, eh?
I can't believe it. Harry told me there was no one. He was the last.
I'm not sure if he knew that Lillian had died. And Carol, my mum, she died too. Before Gran, that was.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thanks.
She must have been very young.
Yeah, she was only just in her 40s. Ovarian cancer. Harry only ever knew her as a teenager. He couldn't have known that I existed at all.
It's just so sad.
It is sad. To be completely cut off from your own flesh and blood. After all, you only get one family, don't you? And you have to make the best of them.
True, very true.
You got family, Ruth?
A son and a daughter. She's in Scotland, he's in Canada, and 3 grandchildren.
That must be hard.
Yes, I talked to them on the computer. My son set it up for me. But it's not the same as having them here, being able to pick them up, cuddle them.
Life's a funny thing, isn't it? Here's you, who give everything to see your loved ones. And there was Harry, all those years, had his family on his doorstep and never raised a finger to contact them. My Gran was just as bad, mind. She could have buried the hatchet any time, she never did. My mum said she changed after Dora died and all that business with Harry. She got a lot harder. When my mum was in hospital dying, my dad turned up. My Gran wouldn't let him in, not even to say goodbye. Said he'd made his choice when he left us. It's the only time I ever saw my dad cry.
That was a bit harsh. But then again, if my daughter was lying in a hospital bed with only days to live, and the man who broke her heart turned up, I might do exactly the same.
Yeah, but it wasn't really my Gran's decision, was it? He might give my mum some peace at the end.
I suppose your Gran was just trying to protect your mum, doing what she thought was right.
Yeah. Like I said, families, eh?
You're not kidding.
Still, one good thing, though, eh? At least Harry had you. He must have really thought a lot of you to give you all that money.
Oh. You know about that, then?
Yes. The man from the council told me. And then... Well, actually, the police spoke to me as well. But I told them I'm not going to make a complaint. I wouldn't dream of it. Not after all you did for him. I'm really grateful to you for that. And I'm happy for you to have it. Really, I am.
Oh, but I wouldn't have taken it if I'd known there was family. I mean, I wouldn't have taken it from him if I'd known about your family.
Are you sure that's what you meant?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry.
You'll have to deny it.
I can't.
You'll have to if the police get you in again. Say Amy misunderstood. Say you meant you were sorry for Harry's death, that's all. Say you were in shock.
I can't keep on lying.
You must. Anyway, with a bit of luck, she won't go to the police.
Of course she will. I as good as told her.
Keep your voice down. Maybe you could just give her the money back and she'll be satisfied with that.
Do you think so?
Well, I don't know. It might be all right, but I still think you're better off denying everything. Stick to your guns.
God, what a mess.
I'm going to have to go. Look, it's nearly 2 already.
5 more minutes.
I can't. I'll get the sack. They've started cracking down and they get really arsey if you're late back from lunch.
Sorry.
Oh, I don't like leaving you like this.
Don't be silly. No sense you getting into trouble too. Off you go.
Keep your chin up. It'll be all right.
I don't see how. Say that again.
They're not going to press charges.
But how come?
I think it's the relative. She doesn't want to take it any further.
But when did she say that?
I don't know. It must have been in the last day or two, I suppose, because I only spoke to Stanley 10 minutes ago.
I can't take it in.
You'll get a letter confirming that they're taking no further action, and that will be that. You won't have to go back to the police station next month. It's all over, Ruth.
I still can't believe it. They won't change their mind, will they?
No, that won't happen.
Not even if the relative changes her mind, if she decides she does want to take it further.
Why would she do that?
No reason. I just can't believe it's all over, that's all.
You'll believe it when you see it in writing.
OK. Thank you. I'm very grateful for everything you've done.
Bye, then. Enjoy your 50,000. Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to see Mr. French, please.
Do you know his first name?
No. Wait, it begins with an E.
Eric French?
That's him.
He's in cemeteries and burials. I'll see if he's there. Eric French, this is reception. There's somebody here to see you. What name is it?
Mrs. Morrison.
Mrs. Morrison. He says, is that Mrs. Ruth Morrison?
Yes.
Yes. He says he's a bit busy at the moment.
Tell him I'm not budging till he comes down here.
Mrs. Morrison seems quite insistent that you see her now. He says, would you like to make an appointment?
Tell him no.
Mrs. Morrison would prefer it if you saw her now. He says give him 5 minutes.
Mrs. Morrison, I really am very busy. I can only spare you 2 minutes.
That's all I need.
Come in here. If this is about the late Mr. Baxter...
Well, of course it's about the late Mr. Baxter.
Then I really can't comment. It's all out of my hands. I don't...
It's all right, you can relax. All I want is Amy's address.
Amy? You mean Mrs. Sinclair?
Yes.
I can't possibly give you that information.
Why on earth not?
The Data Protection Act, for a start.
Look, Mr. French, it's very simple. Amy came to see me. We had a cup of tea together. She gave me her details, her address, phone number, everything. But unfortunately, I lost the piece of paper. It was such a shock meeting her and hearing about Harry's family. I don't know what I did with it, but I need it. I want to send her some flowers to say thank you for being so nice.
She came to see you?
Yes. She was lovely, so kind and so grateful for everything I did for her uncle.
I see. Well, I suppose in that case... No, but even so, I'm not authorised to give out this information.
Mr. French, was it you that tipped off the police?
I can't talk about that. I can't make any comment.
You know that they've dropped the charges, don't you?
Yes, I heard.
At Amy's insistence. She was happy that her uncle gave me that money. She told me so herself. She didn't seem very impressed that the police had got involved. And she wouldn't be very impressed if she knew I'd asked you for help after I lost her address and you refused to give it to me, would she?
I can't. Mrs. Morrison, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to. I really can't.
Is that the file you've got there?
Yes. I brought it with me in case I needed to look something up.
Has it got Amy's address in it?
Yes.
So, if you put it down on the table, open at that bit, and I happen to see over your shoulder her details, you couldn't be blamed for that, could you?
Suppose not, but,
Do you know how long I was in the police station for?
Please, Mrs. Morrison. Would you excuse me while I just check my phone? I think I heard a text arrive. It might be urgent.
Of course, go ahead. 25, Mayfield Gardens. I think that's everything, Mr. French. Thank you for your time.
Goodbye, Mrs. Morrison.
Please be in, please. Ruth? Can I come in? I've got something for you.
Oh. What's this?
It's for you. £50,000 made payable to Amy Sinclair. That is how you spell Sinclair, isn't it? I have got it right.
I don't want this.
Don't be daft.
I don't want it.
But I can't... How can you not want it? It belongs to you. It's yours. It should rightfully have been yours years ago.
Well, that's just it, isn't it? Harry could have given a cheque just like this one to my gran at any time in the last 30 years if he'd wanted to. It seems he didn't want to.
But he didn't give it to me either.
No. I sort of figured that out.
I only took it because I thought there was no family. You must believe me. I thought he didn't have anyone. It didn't seem right, all his money going to strangers that never knew him, or to the Crown. I don't know which would have been worse. And he did know me, and he did trust me, and he did like me, in his own funny way. I'm sure of that.
I suppose £50,000 would buy a lot of flights to Canada?
Yes. And I don't deny that was a factor. I thought of all the good I could do with that money, when Harry never seemed to have any use for it at all. But that doesn't make it right. I know that now. I just wasn't thinking straight.
Had you been planning it for a long time?
No, I swear. I didn't even know about this money till a few days before he died. And I didn't know he was on his way out. I knew he was poorly, but it was a terrible shock when the doctor told me. He thought I was his daughter, you see.
Yes.
So did the ambulance men and the nurses, everybody. And it got me thinking. And what I mainly thought was, who's going to get this money? I thought it would be the government or the council, and it just seemed awful. And I thought of what I could do with it and how good Tess said I'd been to him. That's my friend Tess. And it was all going through my head, and it seemed like hours, but it was no time at all, really. And I had to make a split-second decision if I was going to do anything, and so I did. I gave in to temptation. There's no way to dress it up. I stole from him. I was his friend, and I let him down.
I told the police I didn't want any action taken before I even came to see you. I just desperately wanted to believe that Harry really had found someone, finally, after all these years of isolation and bitterness. But someone that he cared about, cared enough to actually do something nice for them. I wanted to believe that he'd actually got some benefit from that damn money at last. All those years it just sat there in his bank account and he never touched a penny. What was the point?
He was a proud man.
Proud? What did he have to be proud of?
Well, nothing really. But that's what they're like, men of that age, some of them anyway. My dad was the same.
If he didn't want the money, why didn't he just give half to my gran like she asked him to? Why cut yourself off like that for your whole life?
I don't know, Amy. We'll never know why he behaved the way he did. People do things and you look at them and you think, why? And you can speculate and you can guess, but you never really know.
Oh, it's all so stupid. I'm sick of the whole business. I don't want the damn money.
But I can't keep it. Not now.
I don't care. I don't want it. I've got the half that should have been my gran's by rights. I'm not touching the rest. Because in a way, that would make me the same as Harry, wouldn't it?
But that's ridiculous. You can't...
And besides, it doesn't seem very lucky, does it? The other half. Almost like it's jinxed.
Jinxed?
Yes. My gran changed when she didn't get it. She got harder. My mum was always angry about the whole business. Felt her family suffered a lot having to live with Dora. She always felt hard done by. Maybe that didn't help her fight it when she got the cancer, I don't know. And you can't say it ever did Harry any good. He died alone.
He wasn't alone. I was with him. I held his hand.
Good for you.
You have to have it back.
No, I don't have to do anything.
It's not mine to keep.
Well, it's not mine either. Oh, take it, Ruth. Do what you like with it. Keep it. Give it to charity. Put it on a horse. I don't care. But don't come round here again, will you?
Are you still there? I keep losing the signal.
Yes, I'm here, but I can hardly hear you.
I can't believe she wouldn't take it.
What? What did you say? Is she going to the police?
No, I said she already told them to drop everything. She knows everything. She's not bothered.
Well, thank God for that. What a relief.
But now I don't know what to do. Well, I do know, I think. I think I've got to give it to charity. But which one? Harry was in the Merchant Navy. Perhaps it ought to go to some sort of sailors' welfare organisation. Is that the same thing?
Harry was what? In the Navy? Look, I really can't hear you, Ruth. You're fading in and out.
Sorry.
Listen, I could get an early lunch. Do you want to meet up?
What, now?
Yes, now.
Oh, Tess, that'd be great.
OK, I'll see you at the cafe. You know, the usual one next to Boots.
I know.
Give me 10 minutes.
I'm so confused, Tess. I can't think straight.
Look, don't do anything. We'll talk, all right?
All right.
10 minutes.
Oh, hi. Have you got a table?
Yes, over there. Look, my bag's there.
What are you doing leaving your bag like that? Where are you going?
I know what I have to do now. It's fate. Look, Tess, over there.
What? What am I looking at?
Him, that poppy seller. Over the other side of the road. See him?
What about him?
I'm going to give him the money.
What?
I've changed the cheque, look. Crossed out Amy's name and written British Legion. That'll be all right, won't it? They can accept that, can't they?
No, stop. Let's sit down and talk about this.
It's no good. I've made up my mind. Amy said it was unlucky and she's right. I see that now. I've had nothing but bad stuff since I took it. I want to get rid of it now. This minute.
Oh, Ruth, for God's sake, listen to yourself.
I've made my mind up, Tess. I'm going to give it to that poppy man. She said give it to charity, and she was right.
Keep your voice down, for God's sake.
They're for ex-servicemen poppies. Harry was in the Merchant Navy. That's close enough. I tell you, it's fate.
OK, I can see you set on this, but let's just get a cup of tea first, and then you can do it. We'll both do it together. I'll come with you, OK?
OK.
Let's both of us just get our breath back first.
OK.
Will you sit down while I get us a drink, then? And look after the bags, yeah?
All right.
Ah, you're a good girl. Tea or coffee?
Doesn't matter. Tea.
Right. 2 teas, please.
Your friend, all right, is she?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's fine. It's just that, there's this new medication she's on. You know, makes her feel a bit excitable.
Yeah, my sister-in-law's the same. Antidepressants, is it? Oh, she's off again, look.
Ruth?
I just want to get it done and out the way. I shan't be a tea.
Ruth, wait!
Oh, God! Somebody call an ambulance!
Ruth?